Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. I'm really glad you're here. And a huge thank you to all of you who have been watching and liking my videos and subscribing to my channel. It means a lot to me. I'm really glad that you're here. I invite you to grab whatever project you have on the go and join me. Let's make some stuff. I'll start with what I'm wearing. This sweater I made last year as part of the 2021 Fluff to Stuff Spin and Make Along, which was hosted on Ravelry by Mars of the Hey Brownberry podcast, Grace of the Babbles Traveling Yarn podcast, and Mina of the Knitting Expat podcast, all here on YouTube. I'll link to all of their channels below in the description box. This yarn I spun from fiber that was expertly dyed by a very good friend of mine named Charlie, who has an Etsy shop which is called the Yarn School Dropouts. Again, that's Yarn School Dropouts on Etsy. And Charlie is a color creation wizard. All of the fiber that Charlie dyes is just amazingly beautiful. This sweater started out as 4 different 4-ounce braids that were all different, but I felt they were complementary. And I spun them all separately. And then in the knitting, I combined them alternating 2 row stripes with each ball to get this overall color, shifting color pattern. The sweater itself, the pattern itself, is from 1000 Sweater Patterns by Amanda Griffiths, which is not exactly a pattern book, but it's a pattern element book, so it's a mix and match sleeves and body and collar, etc. And I love the boxy look of this sweater, and the color, again, is just to die for. So again, all the links will be in the description box below if you're interested in any of those things. Today, though, I want to share with you my longest work in progress, which is a cross-stitch pattern that I started in 2009. So yes, many years. We're now over a decade into this project. But I'm okay with that. And I still, even though I don't work on it a lot, I still consider it a work in progress. Do you have any projects like that? There are plenty of other things that I think I've, started earlier and didn't finish, but I don't consider them works in progress, even though I don't really I obviously don't work on those, and I don't work on this cross stitch very often, otherwise it would be finished. But there's something about, the project sits in my living room. I can see it. I see it every day. I do work on it periodically, and I'm not really sure why I don't work on it all that often. I enjoy the process when I'm doing it. It is very, very slow. And you'll see why when I show you the project and tell you a little bit more about the pattern. But, it's not that I don't like this project. I do. I love it. It's just one of those things that it's taking a long time. And, yeah, that's all right. This is the first of 2 patterns that my husband bought for me. Are you sensing a pattern with this? My husband bought these for me as an engagement gift. And even then, he was encouraging my crafting. They are patterns from a company called the Scarlet Quince. And I'll link to their website so you can look at their beautiful patterns and buy them for yourself if you like. But the patterns that they sell are all cross-stitch, but they have a special technique that they use in all of their patterns. They take fine art paintings and then convert them into cross stitch by combining two strands of two different colors of DMC embroidery floss in each stitch to create what is essentially painting with thread. And they're just incredible. The quality of the finished product is just amazing. And the one that I'm working on now is called The Meeting on the Turret Stairs by Frederick William Burton. The finished piece is going to be 14.4 inches wide by, I have to check my notes, excuse me, 14.4 inches wide by 23.3 inches long, and in centimeters that's 36.6 centimeters by 59.2 centimeters. And this is on 16 count fabric, which means 16 stitches per inch. The pattern actually comes in a booklet, and it's separated into 12 panels, 3 columns and 4 rows to get that full 14.5 inch wide piece. Each of the panels is a full page of the booklet, and this is standard 8.5 by 11 inch size paper. So each page is one of these panels. I have completed 3 of the panels so far, and I'm working on the 4th one. Yes, in more than 10 years, I've only completed slightly more than a quarter of this project. It's slow, as I said. The number of different colors that are in this is just astonishing. So again, let me check my notes to make sure I get the right numbers. It calls for 113 different colors of DMC embroidery floss, which isn't all of them, but it's quite a few. And then those are combined into 97 unique color pairs. And each one of those color pairs is a symbol in the chart. So there's 97 different symbols, and each one of those represents 2 different colors of thread, which is what makes this so amazing and also what makes it so time consuming. So that's the first one. I will show you how I organize my thread for this project. I have a container with bins in it, and I keep the color chart key handy for every color change that I do. I wouldn't be able to do it otherwise. So I'll show you I'll show you the patterns up close, and also my embroidery floss and the working on the cross stitch. The other pattern is called Queen Guinevere's Maying by John Collier, and I haven't started it yet. It, I think, was the more complicated of the two. Again, it's a little bit bigger, or will be a bit bigger when it's finished, than the other one that I'm currently working on. This one is 20 inches wide by 25 inches long in centimeters, 50.8 centimeters by 63.5 centimeters. Again, that's on 16 count fabric, and that pattern book has 25 panels. Again, each is a separate page, but not all of the panels fill up the entire page. So it is much more substantial. It has, whereas the first one had 113 different colors of thread, this one has 133 different colors combined into 133 unique color pair combinations with that many symbols. So, I don't know, I suppose I thought that the one with fewer combinations, fewer symbols, slightly smaller might have been easier, and maybe it was, but not substantially. So those are the two patterns that I have. I'm really not sure how long this project is going to take. And honestly, I'm all right with that. You know, I'd like to see it finished and framed and hung up on the wall, but that's not really why I'm doing it. And I think the process is taking so long that I don't yet see the end. And when I get close to the end of a project, you know, when I'm nearing completion, I get this drive, this urge to finish. And I know a lot of you feel the same way, that it's just one more row. I've got to finish this project tonight because I'm so close to the end. And I'm definitely not feeling that with this project yet. So it's still just slow and steady. And, well, slow and not steady is the problem. I think if I had worked on it regularly, or if I do start working on it regularly, I'll get it finished. I could probably finish it in maybe a year if I did it as, you know, maybe not my sole project, but as one of my primary projects, which still seems like a long time, but it's a lot of work and it's very slow. But, you know, maybe I'll finish it in a year. Maybe I'll finish it in 5 years. Maybe it'll take me longer. I do want to make the second pattern as well after I'm finished with the first one. And again, who knows? Maybe in another decade I'll get to start working on that one. But again, this is a work in progress that I really feel is a work in progress, even though I don't work on it very often. It's taking a really long time, but I'm not done with it. I haven't put it aside. Like I said, I'm not, it's not that I don't like it anymore or I'm bored with it. It's not, you know, something that it has been causing me problems and I've put it away in the naughty corner to think about what it's done to me. It just sits aside and I know it's there, and occasionally I'll pull it out and work on it for a while. That's it for this video. Thank you so much for spending some of your creative time with me. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!